Hey there, friend. Thanks for being here. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe and share this video. It really helps the channel grow. I'd also love to know where in the world you're watching from. Drop a comment below. Now settle in, because what I'm about to share isn't just a story. It's a slow unraveling of what love becomes when one person gives everything, and the other slowly stops noticing. My name is Marcus, and for almost 9 years, I was married to a woman named Isabel. In the beginning we were in sync, not perfect but united. We shared a vision, a modest home near the city, maybe 2 kids, a golden retriever bounding through the backyard. Life felt like it was building, brick by brick, with purpose. For a while that dream held strong. We weren't flashy, but we were solid. Weekends at the farmer's market, nights cooking together, long talks in bed about the future. We believed in each other. But over time something began to shift. It wasn't explosive, it was subtle. Almost like watching colors slowly fade from a photograph you've had too long in the sun. The connection thinned out. We still lived together, still shared a bed, but the closeness, it vanished. The real fracture appeared when we started trying for a baby. Almost 2 years of tests, medications, hormone shots, calendars filled with ovulation schedules. We gave that journey everything we had. Or rather, I tried to. But Isabel started slipping away. She was never the most expressive person, but the struggle crushed her spirit. She stopped calling friends, quit her book club, meals went untouched. Her laughter, the sound that once filled every corner of our home, disappeared. I asked her once gently, "Why don't we talk anymore?" She didn't even look at me, just muttered, "I'm tired, Marcus." And from then on, it was like I was living with a ghost of her. Present in form but emotionally absent. Kept trying. Took over cooking, cleaning, kept our lives running. I even mentioned therapy once. She shot it down before I finished the sentence. Still I stayed. Because that's what commitment means, right? You don't leave when things get hard. Then came the shift I couldn't ignore. One Saturday, Isabel told me her sister, Nina, would be staying with us for a while. She and her boyfriend broke up. He kicked her out, she explained. She has nowhere else to go. I asked, "What about her kids?" "They're staying too," she said, eyes fixed anywhere but mine. I wasn't thrilled. Nina was loud, chaotic, always dragging drama behind her like a storm, but I agreed. I told myself we could handle a short disruption. Within days, our house was unrecognizable. Toys everywhere. Dirty dishes stacked high. Every room echoed with noise. And Nina, she criticized everything. How I folded laundry. What I cooked. Even how I breathed, it seemed. Yet, Isabel came alive. For the first time in months, she looked lighter. I'd walk in to find her laughing on the patio with Nina, wine in hand, while the kids ran wild. When I asked if Nina had started looking for a new place, she just said, "She just got here, Marcus." That was nearly 3 weeks in. At one point, I came home to find Nina and her boys asleep in our bedroom. Isabel had given it to them so the kids could sleep better. I grabbed a blanket and slept on the couch. She didn't even acknowledge it the next morning. From then on, everything between us became a fight. Or worse, silence. "Nina's my sister," she snapped one night. "You expect me to kick her out?" "I just want to sleep in my bed," I said quietly. She turned away without a word. It was like my needs had become a nuisance. But the real punch came one evening when I overheard them talking in the bedroom. Nina laughed. "Honestly, I like having the big bed. Your husband doesn't seem to mind." Isabel replied, cool as ice. "He should be grateful he's still in the house." They laughed. I walked in, took my clothes, and left the room without saying a word. But that silence meant something. Meant I was done hoping. The final nail came at a backyard cookout I never agreed to. I came home to a street full of parked cars, strangers everywhere, music blaring, kids screaming. Isabel waved at me like I was some distant guest. When I walked past her, she said, "Don't start, Marcus. It's just a few people." Nina was drunk, loud, planted near the grill, and as I reached for a beer she slurred, "Honestly, if Marcus just disappeared, would anyone even notice?" Everyone laughed, Isabel included. I raised my beer. "We'll see about that." They thought I was joking. But I wasn't. That night, after everyone had left, I began packing. Quietly. Few things each night. Low. Personal items. Important documents. I rented a storage unit out of town. Opened a separate bank account. Set up a new email. Bought a burner phone. I wasn't escaping, I was planning. Weeks passed. Then one night, I left a thick envelope on the counter with a yellow sticky note. Noticed yet? I walked out and didn't look back. The cabin I rented was nothing special. Just quiet. And that's all I needed. 3 months later I broke my rule and checked my old email. 34 unread messages from Isabel. The early ones were venomous. Asterisk, coward. Asterisk, asterisk. You humiliated me. Asterisk. Then, confusion. Asterisk. Why didn't you just talk to me? Asterisk. And finally, regret. Asterisk. I sent Nina and the kids away. Sorry. I should have done it sooner. Asterisk. The last message read, asterisk, I still haven't signed the papers. Not because I expect you to come back. Just because I miss the version of you who still tried. Asterisk. Closed the laptop. It wasn't about the party, or the joke, or Nina. It was about all the times she made me feel invisible. 6 months later, I ran into someone from her circle. He said Isabel had been looking everywhere, convinced something terrible had happened. Something did, I replied. I left. A few days later, she found the cabin. She stood at the door. No makeup, eyes full of regret. I hired a PI, she confessed. I didn't know how else to find you. I don't need an apology, I said quietly. I just want this to end clean. We discussed the house. I told her she could buy out my half or we'd sell. No drama. No fights. And she left. We finalized the divorce months later. No tears. No ceremony. Just 2 signatures and a hallway between us. She moved to a modest apartment. Picked up a 3rd job. We never spoke again. When my share from the house sale hit my account, I stared at the number. Not because I needed the money, but because it marked the true end. Sometimes I think about the life we dreamed of. The cozy home, the kids, the dog. But that was just a dream. Love doesn't always explode. Sometimes it dissolves. Quietly. And in that silence I found peace. I still write. I live simply. Solitude shows up often, but regret doesn't. I don't miss who I used to be. Desperate for someone to notice me. If love ever finds me again, it'll be with someone who truly sees me. Not out of routine, but by choice. That's the end of my story, friend. What do you think? Was I right to walk away the way I did? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story resonated with you, check out the others on the channel. I've got plenty more where this came from. Until next time, take care. And remember, peace isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just you choosing yourself. See you in the next video.